Hi and welcome everyone to Selective Preparation Power Thinking Skills Test 9. So today we have some selected questions we will be going through from the paper. Let's start. First question was an algebraic and number sense question. So we have 370 roses, tulips and lavenders, 4 times as many roses and tulips and 20 less lavender than tulips. How many roses are there? Okay, so we have roses plus tulips plus lavenders will equal to 370. Now, if we have 3 different things to figure out like this, we cannot know for sure what each of them are. We can have different combinations of different numbers. So what we actually have to do is replace some of these with the same term. You can see that the tulips are the thing we are comparing to each time. 4 times as many roses and tulips. Instead of roses, we're going to write 4 times tulips. 20 less lavenders and tulips. Instead of lavenders, we're going to say tulips minus 20. So 4 lots of tulips plus minus 20 will get us to 370. We have 4 lots of tulips, 5 lots of tulips, 6 lots of tulips. 6 tulips minus 20 is 370. Move the 20 over to the other side. 6 tulips is 390, not your plus. So then 1 tulip is how much? Well, we're going to do 390 divided by 6. Goes in 6 times 36 minus, you get 35. 1 tulip, there's 65 tulips. How many roses are there? Well, let's check. Roses, we said, was 4 lots of tulips. So you can do 65 times 4. 26, 4s are 24, 26. Roses equals 260, which is B. Okay, so a tap drips 4 mils every drop. If it drips every 4 seconds, how much water in liters is lost every week? 4 mils it drips every 4 seconds, so per 4 seconds. What that essentially means, right? What does that mean? That means it's 1 mil per second, right? So we're going to take that 1. How many seconds are in minutes? 60, right? So times 60, 1 times 60 per minute. And then for hour times what? 60 again, right? 1 times 60 times 60. And then for day, 24, right? Times 24. 1 times 60 times 60 times 24. Okay, and then now we have 14, in every week we have 7 days. So 1 times 60 times 24 times 7. Now the only thing wrong with that is we need to divide it by 1,000. Why? We need to change it from milliliters to liters. So that actually looks the same as option B. Okay, the 1 is just not written there, but it's the same thing. Okay, so what is the main conclusion here? Let's highlight. We know that only in English does marmalade connote or suggest a citrus-based preserve containing peel. In other languages, it just means jam. Okay, so you can see what all the other languages, and it says not just Romance language. All the British clearly thought of marmalade differently from the rest of the world. That is kind of the main idea. Okay, that the British people thought of the word marmalade differently to the rest of the world. And that's why A is the best answer. Outside of Britain, the term marmalade has a different meaning. So the marmalades link up. British, Britain, meaning, right? Basically, the whole passage is about meaning, right? And difference. So lots of links, meaning A is the best one. Okay. So which of the following, if true, will most weaken the argument? Let's highlight. 1 in not too distant future. The doctor might prescribe a medicine based on how quickly your body will process it, rather than relying on rough cues like your height and weight. Okay, so we talk about cancer, and this kind of nuanced approach to healthcare, often called personalized, individualized or precision medicines, aren't as far off as you can think. Some of the necessary technology already exists, been refined so that we can use it on a more regular basis. Now, which one would weaken the argument? The answer is A. Tests of the technology in patients reveal that it shortens their life expectancy by 5 years. So this actually contradicts the fact that we are saying that this medicine is actually very good, okay, and it should be used regularly, right? It is cost effective and it should be used regularly. Why? If it shortens their life expectancy, it means they have less time to live, okay? And that is obviously a negative thing, a harmful thing. So actually A is the best one because it kind of talks about how it's not a very helpful treatment. Yes? So A is the best answer here. Okay, fine. So we have inflation of a balloon. Every breath she takes increases by 2 centimeters. Initial height is 10. She wants to go to 75. How many breaths must she take? So the difference that she has to make up for is 75 minus 10, which is 65 centimeters. Now, she has to inflate by 2 centimeters at a time. So we're going to divide this by 2, okay? And you actually get 32, remainder 1, right? Remember, you can't have half of a breath or the remainder. So you have to round up, okay? She's got to get to 76 centimeters, but that is better than being under. So round up to 33. So D is the answer. And it says here she can only take 4 breaths. Okay, don't forget that. Okay, number 6. Which of the following is an underlying assumption of the passage above? So we are talking about analytical brains and the degree of computer science. And it says it's all about developing your creative problem-solving skills by creating software and hardware solutions. Prepare to apply your natural curiosity and analytical brain to solve some tricky issues. Okay, so basically they have said that this enjoyment of logic and analytical brain and also natural curiosity can be fulfilled with computer science, right? So what is the underlying assumption? It's actually B. Creating software and hardware solutions develop creative problem-solving skills. So what they have done is they've actually linked it directly. Computer science is all about developing your creative problem-solving skills by creating software and hardware solutions. Now, this might not actually be the case, right? Developing these skills might come by an extension of creating the solutions, and it might be a case for some people, but not every single person. So we can't say everyone should do computer science because you will definitely develop creating problem solves. We don't know that. That's why B is the answer. And again, you can read through the solutions to see why the other ones aren't correct. 7, what it can be implied. So Michael is a retired man. Oops. And he is going to court. Judges who work in the High Court to make the final decisions on important cases and must retire if they are 70 or older. Michael is a retired man who used to work in the High Court. Okay, the High Court is a part of a governmental branch known as the judiciary. So which one can we imply? A says Michael used to be a High Court judge. Now we can't imply A. Okay, we can't because he's just a retired man who used to work here. For all we know, he could have been working as a secretary or a cleaner or somebody who, or a security guard, right? We don't know. Michael is older than 70. Again, we don't know. This is only for the judges, okay, who work at the High Court. They must retire if they're 70 or older. We don't know what Michael is. So, no. See, Michael used to be a government worker. Now, this is true because he used to work in the High Court of Australia, and we know the High Court is a part of the governmental branch. So we know that he definitely worked for the government. So C is the answer. Okay, which statement is false? I went on a holiday from the 5th to the 10th of July. So those are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's actually 6 days. Okay, which means A is out. My family and I went to the beach and saw a large group of dolphins swimming around. A group of dolphins is known as a pod. Oh, actually, sorry. I just realized which statement is false. It's A, isn't it? Because 6 days we already said, and A says I went on holiday for 5 days, because just by looking at the date, it can be confusing. So actually the other ones are all true. Okay, you can read through here by pausing the video now to see why B, C, D are all true. Okay, 9. In an exam next month has 1,000 words and must be completed in 20 minutes. At what rate per second must she write at? So 1,000 words per 20 minutes. So you can see here that one of those is expressed in minutes and one of them is in seconds. So let's get to minutes first to check that one off. So 1 minute you divide by 20, right? If I divide this by 20, be careful with your zeros. You can cancel this out. So 2 into 100 is 50, right? 50 words per minute. Now you might think A is the answer therefore, but read the question very carefully. What rate per second must she write at? So A is not correct because it's not the correct words per second. B is definitely not correct because you have to divide this again by 60 to get seconds. It can't be 50 words, right? Divide by 60, you get 1 second. 50 divided by 60 goes in 0. 500 goes in... Well, actually, without dividing like that, we can see that it's in fraction, right? So we know that divide this by 60 would be 50 over 60. You can cancel out the zeros and you get 5 over 6 words per second. Okay, it's much easier to figure out. And anywho, 1 over 6, all of those ones will be in a recurring decimal. So better to do fractions. C is the answer. And last question. So we have 300 small posters, 120 medium posters, 50 large, and we're packing them in groups. So we have to divide. Each package was sold then for $10 each. How much money did you make? Okay, so let's group the small, medium, large. So we have 120 medium and 50 large. Notice how I'm labeling it as I go, so it's easier for me to find my information. Okay, so then we have groups, smalls are in 6, mediums are in 4, larges in 5. You see how they have kind of mixed the numbers up so that they purposely confuse you. So be careful with that. 300 divided by 6 is 50. We get 30 and we get 10. Okay, so that's sold for $10 each. We can add these up. These are the total number of packets and you get 90 packets. Remember, each one is $10. So you times and you get $900 altogether. Or D. Right, so some key points from this test. When solving complex mathematical problems, don't forget to label your working out. This will help you in solving the question and double checking your answer. Okay? Another thing we want to talk about for making inference questions, only ever take what is literally given in the text. Okay? Don't use your prior knowledge, as this may become a trap for you. Right, so that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed that video and I will see you next time. Thank you.